Hey guys, Omni here. So much like Damon himself getting a little bit of a post-victory haircut, you might also notice something a little bit different about myself. Now, there was not so much any glory behind it or any other ulterior motives, just some mistakes, a wedding, and yeah, man. This was not the intended outcome. I just want to go ahead and, put that out there, and just came back. I had a wedding over the weekend, not for myself, but I was a groomsman, participating for one of my best friends. And, I thought maybe I'd clean up, get a little bit of a touch up. So I went out, got my hair cut. It was still a little long and whatnot. I only got a little, maybe like an inch, 2 inches trimmed off or whatever. And then got home, went to the bathroom, gave it a look over, and had a little teeny bit of a change of heart, or there's something about it that's like a little off. I was like, you know what, I can make some tweaks myself. Yeah, it didn't work, so I ended up having to go back in the next morning, get it retouched up, and this is where we're at today. Good thing though, hair grows back. But I'm looking forward to this episode, man. I've been loving the show so far. I've been having so much fun with it. Though I do believe, if memory serves me right, I think this is the last episode in which we see the young Alicent and the young Rhaenyra, these actresses, before we trade them out for their older counterparts. That's what I've heard. I don't know how wholly accurate that is, but that's kind of been what I've been hearing. And I've talked about this with some other people that I know that's been watching the show, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm so attached to them, and I know the show like spans like sweeping swaths of time and stuff like that. It's just like, man, I've grown so attached to these two as these characters. It's gonna be weird for the next foreseeable future of this storyline to not have them really in it, unless we have flashbacks and stuff like that. Anything like that could be one way to kind of keep them involved. But yeah, man, I thought they've been doing really great, especially Millie Alcock playing Rhaenyra. I've just grown attached to that character and her portrayal, but we'll have to let go here soon. But with that said, man, I'm excited to see where things pick up after the last episode, where things are going, and some of the consequences that are going to come after the last episode. But guys, with that all said, we're going to go ahead and hop into this. So if you want to see the full-length reaction to this, you can check it out in watch-along format over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is in watch-along format, so you just see your own footage with the time code, see my reaction to the entire episode. See the same thing for all the other shows we cover here on the channel. You also get to put forth suggestions and then vote on what movies we react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage to try to make it worth your while, since you are going to do ways to support the channel. But of course, I know nobody can do that, and a simple way you can help us out is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos, because it really does go a long way with helping the channel grow here on YouTube. And if you guys are new, if it's your first time tuning in, if you're enjoying the reaction, maybe you'll stick around. I'd love it if you did. With that all said and down the way, guys, let's go ahead and hop into episode 5. Here we go.
Tomorrow, Lady Rhea. Care for some company?
I'd rather ride alone.
Good fortune to you.
Husband? What brings you to the Vale?
Why are you home?
Or have you at last come to consummate our marriage? The Vale sheep might be willing, even if I'm not. Our sheep are prettier, after all.
Oh, wow.
Cast you aside in favor of a little girl. What will you do now? Will you strike the child down? Or...
Oh! Oh.
I knew you couldn't finish. Craven!
Wow.
The king will die. It may be months or years, but he'll not live to be an old man. And if Rhaenyra succeeds him, war will follow. The realm will not accept her. And to secure her claim, she'll have to put your children to the sword. She'll have no choice. You're no fool, and yet you choose not to see it. The time is coming, Alicent.
You put her in this position, though, man. Oh, that's a cool little setup. All right. I like that. I love the aesthetic, the view, the rocks. I love climbing shit, man. This would be a great place for that.
State your purpose, my lord.
I did wonder if she could be relied upon now that she is unwell.
Unwell? I haven't heard anything.
It says that on the very same night your father was dismissed, the Grand Maester delivered a tea to the princess's chambers.
Tea?
Yes.
That the Grand Maester himself brought.
At the direction of the king, as I understand it.
Rhaenyra sailed with the king to Driftmark yesterday at daybreak.
Oh, what good news. I must have been in error.
Are you well?
Very.
Though I do wish we could meet under happier pretenses.
How so?
Damon's wife, the Lady Rhea Royce, has passed.
A hunting mishap. A neck and skull both crushed in the fall.
Oh my god. Man, what Damon did so fucked, man.
I know that whatever agreement being struck up there will not change your appetites, nor will it change mine. That we perform our duty to our fathers and to the realm, and when it's done, each of us dines as we see fit.
Oh, it's the crab feeder's mask.
Daenerys is taken to bed while his ship is readied.
I love the decor in here, man.
We will need a sworn protector, and this is better than we could have hoped for. She has a paramour of her own.
Her sworn protector.
You have confided in me now and then. I have deep knowledge of the port at Sunspear, where I've seen the ships of Essos setting sail with their holds full of oranges and cinnamon, and I've always wished to see where they went.
Are you asking for leave?
I'm asking you to come with me. Away from all of this. From the burdens and the dignities of your inheritance, let us leave it all behind and see the world together. You could marry me.
I am the crown. It is my duty to marry a noble man from a great house, and Selena will make a fine husband. Well, my marriage does not have to be the end. Selena and I have an understanding. I've granted leave to pursue his own interests, and in turn he's granted me the same.
So you want me to be your whore?
I want us to continue as we began with you as my small protector, my white knight.
I took an oath. I've broken it. I've soiled my white cloak. It is the only thing I have to my fucking name. I thought if we were married, I might be able to restore it.
The Iron Throne looms larger than me, larger than anyone ever the Conqueror, united 7 kingdoms and put them on a path. So, Kristen.
I get it. I feel for him, man.
So, Kristen, you've been summoned.
I left the princess just minutes ago.
Not the princess, sir. The queen.
I fear I must question you on a delicate matter, Sir Kristen. The night of Damon's return, my father received an accounting of a lapse of morals that may have occurred. I am not unaware that in a flush of youth, there may be errors made, breaches in resolve, breaches or rather lapses.
It happened, Your Grace.
But she's gonna think it. He's talking about what happened between her and him.
The sin you allude to, I have committed it.
But she was talking about Daemon.
I would ask only this, that rather than gelding me and having me tortured, you would sentence me mercifully to death.
That's not how this turned. That's not how she thought this was gonna go. But it does show that Rhaenyra had lied to her, even if it's not the lie she thought was being told. Oh my God! Look at his arm.
What will they say of me when their histories are written? I have neither fought nor conquered, nor suffered any great defeat. Some might call that good fortune. It hardly makes a good song, does it? To be sung at feasts in 100 years.
Yeah, be a whisper in the wind.
Many that are tested only wish to have been spared it.
That is also true. Dude.
It is with great pleasure that His Grace, King Viserys, announces the start of the royal wedding celebrations.
Oh, we're doing it today?
Congratulations, Your Grace. You have made a fine match for the princess.
Thank you, Lord Jason. I could think of no better man than Selena.
I understand the Queen is still readying herself for the celebrations.
This is why men wage war. Because a woman would never be ready for the battle in time.
Your presence is always such a pleasure, Lord Jason.
Move along.
Princess.
We got a whole line. Get, skedaddle. Oh, look who showed up. Awkward.
Be welcome as we join together in celebration with House Targaryen and the beacon on the high tower. Do you know what color it glows when Old Town calls its banners to war? Green.
Yeah, her stance has shifted a little bit. That awkward missing of eyes like that.
In the Vale, men are made to answer for their crimes, even Targaryens.
Who are you?
It was no accident.
Are you confessing some guilt, Sir Gerald?
I am making an accusation.
You know, in King's Landing, men are made to answer for their slanders. Even old bronze cunts like you. As I'm glad you've come, I wish to speak to you about my inheritance. And I had no heirs. As her husband, whatever she was due, now passes to me. Fly to the Eyrie and petition Lady Jane myself. Perhaps I'll see you there, Sir Gerald.
Ruthless.
I know who it is. The handsome paramour.
Oh. He was trying to figure out who her paramour was.
Look, Sir Lena is quite dear to me. As I know, the princess is to you.
We should swear to each other to guard them and their secrets. Because if those are kept safe, then so are we all.
He's already told his, though, so, fuck. Ah! The hell's going on? Oh, did Kristen just jump Daemon? Oh no. Oh shit, those two are going at it. God, this is just chaos. Oh, whoa. Oh, God.
And you're mine.
I am yours and you are mine.
Rhaenyra of House Targaryen to be man and wife.
Sir Kristen.
Oh no. Dude, this is just... Oh wow. Oh my God. That whole episode took such a turn there at the end. Where did Daemon go? He just got disappeared in that whole the chaos of all of that. Rhaenyra was straight up just calling him out too. Just hey, you know what? What do you care? I'm walking the walk you taught me at this point. If you want it, fucking take it. Man, Kristen though, like I saw like some sentiments, and it's not something I really thought about in the last episode, how, you know, even though there is a power disparity between like Daemon and Rhaenyra in that place, they were at least closer to equals than what she did with Kristen, where from his position, like she put him in such a position where what was he to do? And all that he is just in risk and question now, and that's, you know, he's had these things going on in his head, and that's, it's just, I feel so bad for him, man. It's not something like she would consider either. You know, they had carved out like what could be like an arrangement that was going to kind of work and maybe be a little stable given what's going on, but like because of that imbalance of power and that difference of viewpoint that Kristen brings to the table versus what Rhaenyra does, it creates this imbalance. It creates this tension, and due to where he is, his state, his position, his status, he's got to keep that contained, and it bottles, and it bottles, and it bottles, and it bottles, and then he just erupts here when that one, that other, I can't remember the names just yet, Laenor's protector comes over to be like, hey, we know everybody's secrets, keep them happy, we keep each other happy, we keep it quiet. And that's not what he ever wanted to do. He didn't want to have these secrets. He doesn't want to be like this. He doesn't want to deal with these things. If he does, he'd rather it be somewhere else where he could just be free, where he doesn't have to hide, where he could frolic and front and share and glee and enjoy the things that he's loving and feeling and all that stuff. But no, he can't. And he's got a very different view, like where they're just kind of like, you know what, it is what it is. We can roll with it and take advantage of it. And where he's kind of dealing it with the other way, where it's just like he just keeps it contained. He's not computing or acknowledging it, and it's just the difference. I would say just of their statuses, where he's a knight and all that stuff, and where he came from, where he clawed from, and all that stuff, and then he just like he didn't take that. Maybe he took that as a threat. I'm not exactly sure, but then they just got into it, man, and he killed him. He crushed his face in. Oh. Now they still have to go through with the wedding. After all of this, Rhaenyra's lost the trust and the confidence of her confidant, And Laenor completely lost his lover, his confidant. So now they're in this situation where neither of them really wanted to do it or be at, purely out of duty for their status, their position, their station, things that they're expected to do, need to do, and that because of their own, I would say more so Rhaenyra's naive nature to this, some of the things around her that kind of, I think, comes from how she's grown and how she's raised, and especially with the way Daemon is kind of grooming her in certain ways that she's not, maybe not aware of fully. I don't know. Like, I completely think that Kristen's reaction is something she just was incapable of gauging, where this outcome probably was never on the cards or table for her when she was thinking about this, because she doesn't have that perspective to come from. I don't know. It was really interesting. The whole last bit of this was very well crafted. I was always like, what's going on? They're always like showing everybody's eye line, who's looking at who's standing out, and everybody's relationships and eyes shifting around the room. And you never really know where things are going to go. And it's Game of Thrones, and when there's a wedding, it's never a pretty affair. So I just, this was not where I thought the explosion or the issue was going to actually come from. Those two, I knew there would probably be some tension in the situation given Kristen's feelings on the matter and feelings on what he himself has done because of his oath and all of that. You know, I just didn't think about it. Daemon hit the scene and you're already like, hey, and the cousin of his wife, who he killed in the beginning of the episode, they're there. We got the Lannisters, we got the Hightowers, we got Daemon moving in on the younger Valerian. We've got all these things playing around. On top of that, Alicent coming in and declaring herself in that very matter-of-fact way. Like, she came in, she stole the attention in her dress, lighting the banners in a metaphorical way, but standing tall. And I don't know. I'm very curious to see where and how she plays her cards now. Because with her father gone, and with everything that's happened and transpired with her, her children, the way she's just kind of been kind of passively moving through life these last couple of years, see that betrayal light a fire under her. And I'm curious to see how that goes. But to be fair, I know Otto did it out of selfish reasons, and both selfish and selfless, because I do get still, and I know a lot of people don't want to root for Otto at all or give him any credit whatsoever. But like, yeah, he's like, sure. And given the situation, sure, he's got a daughter. That's a chance for them to further their station. But at the same time, he's thinking of the realm. You know, he doesn't want Daemon to get this. You know, with the king having no heir, he doesn't want Daemon on the throne. Because what could that do to the realm? What would Daemon do? Because he can't trust Daemon. And then it comes down to this whole situation, and then they're still not. It's like, if they don't ever accept Aegon, I mean, the realm will riot. And that's kind of a thing that they've been perpetuating. So, like, that he's, you know, had things just went the way he planned, like, who knows? Things could be a little bit different. But he did, at the same time, put her in that position. So that is a choice that he made that ended up putting Alicent in the position that she's currently in. So it is a little bit of a double-edged sword that he was wielding at the time. And now he's just, it's all on Alicent to kind of live with where she's at and own it. I'm very curious to see how this all plays out. Every episode, man, so far it's just been like a shattering of the status quo over and over again a little bit. It's always kind of like, here we go, and then crash. Here we go, and then crash. I don't know, man. I really like it, though. The performances, the staging, this production design. The show's really not really scrimping at all on everything that's been going on. I love it. But yeah, man. What'd you guys think of the episode? How do you feel about how this all transpired? What are your thoughts, your feelings? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join us in our Discord. We can talk about it there as well. Links to that in all my social description box below. Follow me in each and every one of those. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, you check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access as well. Speaking of, before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yori, Corey Scott, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Raven McCann, and Status Alive. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. That's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.